Alright guys, Tuesday, November the 10th, 2020. Welcome back to the garage. Just picking up where we left off, playing around with the cylinder heads. We'll get back to that in just a second. We are experiencing a abnormally hot fall. It's 23 degrees Celsius outside currently, which is about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's been that way pretty much for the past week. We did actually have snow and ice last Monday, but we then transitioned from that period of snow and ice to record-breaking temperatures, so that's nice. We've managed to enjoy the bike a little bit more. We actually had it out on the weekend for about a 400-kilometer ride on both Saturday and Sunday, so 800 kilometers total or so. So that was nice that we still have something available to drive while the weather is still nice, although it sounds like the weather is going to be changing within the next day or two and getting back to more seasonal temperatures. Anyway, we're going to play around with the cylinder head a little bit, and just going to do a little bit of a power out here just to get it back into it. Got a new stud kit over here, so we're going to install the new studs in the head and get that ready to go back on the car. The chassis is still tucked away safely in the trailer over there. The intent really is to not bring that out until the bike goes into storage, which will probably be by the end of this week. So that'll give us the space in the garage to be able to bring the chassis back out and continue working on that. First thing I want to do is build the engine up by putting the head back on and all of the ancillary bits in order to get it fired up in the near future, that you have all been waiting for and I've been waiting for. Anyway, we'll play around with this tonight just to get back into it, and we'll install those studs just to check one more box off the list. Alright guys, we've got all of our new studs in, and I figured I would take a minute just to show you the differences between the head gaskets for the early cars versus the late cars, and the differences in the port spacing. So here is the early car. So this is a narrow port spacing versus the later car. So this is a pan gasket I've got on the ground here, or on the top of this paper towel, and I was just going to overlay the later gasket. So this would be for like my 73, and I just wanted you to see the port spacing differences, if you can see how these line up. So you can see that the top gasket actually is a wider, you can see the pan gasket below it, how much wider the ports are on the later gasket. I don't know if you can see that, if that demonstrates that or not, but you can basically see there how wide the ports are versus the earlier ones, where you can see the lighter gray peeking through. You can sort of see it through here as well. So I just wanted to show you that. Now, having said that, I always keep everything that I took off the car. I've told you that in the past. And I'm looking at the head gasket that came off the old head, and it looks like, you can see, somebody at some point in its life put the wrong cylinder head gasket on here, so you can actually see that it's actually covering up the ports on the inside. So that wasn't good. So that was never running to its full potential. So yeah, so I thought I'd just point that out to you. So there's the old gasket on the old head. So somebody wasn't thinking straight when they did this. You can see how much of the port is covered here on the inside. And you can sort of see the outside of the port here. So yeah, that's odd. Just thought I'd point that out to you. Anyway, we're going to throw the new gasket on the head, and we'll just add the hardware, and then we'll call it a night out here working on getting the studs installed into the head. Alright, and a quick follow-up. So we've got the pan head gasket fitted, and you can see how nicely that fits the ports now. So proper head gasket for the earlier head fits nice. So we'll add our hardware here, and we'll come back with one more update on this and call the cylinder head done and ready to go on the car. Alright guys, power hour complete for tonight. There is all the new hardware installed and the new gasket. So again, ready to go back on top of the engine block when we get to that point. So hopefully we'll be there soon. Probably another week or two before we get things organized out here in the garage. And get the chassis back out so we can do a little bit more playing out here. See you then. Almost forgot. One more thing before we go. We'll do a little parts unboxing from British Parts Northwest that I purchased to help me along with this head. So here we go. So first thing I see is they silicone valve cover gasket for an aftermarket alloy cover. This is from Gasket Innovations, ARE Enterprises, so Alexander Racing Enterprises as well have these on their website. So anyway, obviously British Parts Northwest is selling these, and I've got them on my other two cars. They are fantastic for aftermarket alloy covers. Thermostat, I'm going to need one of those. Plugs, so I'm going to need new spark plugs. Decided to go with the RN12YC. It's what I run on my TR6. These are a little bit hotter than the RN9YCs that are recommended or called for in the shop manual. So RN12YC is what my preference is. And then it's a big ticket item. We got the ARP head stud kit. There's the part number there if anybody's looking for it. Again, through British Parts Northwest. This is a fairly pricey item when you do the currency conversion and the delivery charge and taxes, etc. It's around the $200 plus mark, so not cheap for head studs, but they are quality. Anyway, so that's it. So maybe we'll upload this little video just so you can see that I'm still alive, and we'll get back out here as soon as possible.